I am really excited about bringing on my next guest because, well, this is the most interesting thing. It's going to be very educational for people. I have Craig Lynch, and he is the owner of Oullet and Lynch. Welcome to the show. Please tell everybody what you do.
Hello, Carol.
Hi.
I'm really excited to be here. I am an independent professional gemologist.
Oh, wow.
That's what I do. I look at gemstones and diamonds, and I appraise them.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to move that mic just a little closer to you, and I want you to tell everybody, sort of your background, because this is very different. I mean, not everybody does what you do on a day-to-day basis. They also have to trust you, so I want you to talk a little bit about yourself, too. Go ahead.
Well, I started in this business as a second career back in 1976, and I ran out of money in college. I went to work in a jewelry store, and all of a sudden I found out it's a very fine store, 18-karat sold Rolexes, everything was 18-karat in the store. Everybody was really honest, and but nobody could go to court and testify saying this is really a diamond, or this is a ruby, but this is a synthetic ruby. Nobody in the company of 18 stores could do that. I was shocked, and so I decided to study it. And since 1976-77, I've been doing this.
Wow, that's a very long time. Now, you told me that you were, did you say nationwide, statewide? I'm not sure. What, I don't remember.
I have clients nationwide.
Uh-huh.
In Tennessee, I do all the high-end appraisal work. I don't know if I can actually come to this or not.
It doesn't matter?
For jewelry television, anything that's over $5,000, I do their work for them. I do work for several big law firms in the United States. I do litigation as an expert witness across the United States. I've done several major collections, and interesting, I've got the best job in the world, Carol.
I bet.
It's kind of a combination of CSI and antique roadshow. Every day is something new, something really exciting, and sometimes stuff that very few people have ever seen.
Okay, I want to give some of your information out. Your phone number is 602-264-3210. The website is Oullet. It's OUELLET Lynch, LYNCH.com. You also can follow him on Instagram at jewelappraiser.com. Is that number need to be there?
The hashtag jewelappraiser.com.
Oh, that's the hashtag. Thanks a lot. That shows you where I'm at right now. So hashtag Jewel Appraisers. You could go and follow Instagram on there. Okay, I want to go into some of these things. First of all, when people think of a gemologist, they think of obviously the gems, but is it just gems?
Pretty much so, but there's also jewelry and diamonds, of course, and watches. I appraise watches, and some watches can be very, very expensive, up to $500,000 for a brand new watch, and so they need a policy. And they need a documentation for it, and so they get an appraisal.
Okay, what's the difference between going to, when you get something brand new, sparkly, it's beautiful, you want to get it appraised, so you just go to your, local jeweler?
Well, most jewelers are not qualified to do appraisals, and they don't have the full-time employee. I do this full-time. I've been doing it full-time since 1987. And I can hardly keep up with the knowledge that I have to maintain to do it. Secondly, it's kind of strange to go and get an appraisal from someone you bought something from. There's a sign of a conflict of interest there. If you want an objective, independent value, that's why they come to an independent appraiser. And there's not many of us around, but there's probably 30 or 40 of us nationwide.
Now, you do a free consultation.
Yes, of course.
And now this is something else that you said. If somebody has 5 or more pieces that you actually are mobile, so they either come to you or you can go to them, but you have to have 5 or more pieces.
That's right.
Okay. What's the biggest thing you've ever looked at and appraised?
The biggest thing is in 2002, I appraised all the jewelry recovered from the Titanic. That's the most valuable things I've ever appraised. I've also appraised over 100-karat diamond. It goes on to lots of things. Many, many things, and then multiple millions of dollars.
I bet you. You've been doing this since when?
I started in the jewelry business in 1977.
1977, so he definitely has a lot of experience behind him. Okay, we're going to open up the lines to the audience for people because you also want to offer them something. It's a little special. What is it?
We have there's a new formulation of a jewelry cleaner called Sparkle Sparkle. It's totally different than anything else. It was designed by a chemist here in Arizona. A few years ago, it won a national award for being unique. Most cleaners of jewelry are abrasives. This is not an abrasive. It's a chemical reaction at a micro level and lifts the dirt off. It's so safe you can drink it. It works extremely well. It comes in little spray bottles. It's about $20 a pack, and you can carry it in your purse. It does a great job, and it's portable. And like I say, I was skeptical at first. It really does work.
Okay, so we're going to let everybody in the audience get entered to win. There are $20. So you've got a few of them that you want to give away. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It's called Sparkle Sparkle, and it's a very special jewelry cleaner for you or for someone else that you know. Okay, let's go back into some of these other things. What is the most common misunderstanding that people have about jewelry appraisers?
Appraisals themselves, people think that the appraisal is about the value. Appraisal always sets the value, but that's probably the least important because... Is
it real? That's probably the most...
yeah, they want to know if it's real, but if they bought it someplace and they want verification, the most important part of an appraisal is a very detailed description and descriptive of what the items are. There's dozens of ways to make jewelry, all of different values. Hand fabrication of a piece, which is very difficult to do, can be 5-10 times more expensive than casting a piece that looks the same way. But the hand fabricated will last hundreds of years and show hardly any wear. And so, in fact, there was a necklace on the Titanic that came up that was fabricated in platinum, and I swear it felt, you shut your eyes, it felt like it was crisp and brand new, because it was platinum and it was hand fabricated. And so that needs to be documented. Good photographs, good measurements, good gradings of it, detailed descriptions. Because if push comes to shove, there's a dispute. It's not about the value. It's about really what the item was and then valuing.
Okay, and unfortunately, when somebody goes to purchase their item,
yes,
it's not like, should they call you up and say, listen, I have this item I really want to get. Will you come and look at it? When do they call you? Before, after? When is it too late?
Well, I do have people, I don't buy and sell, but I do have people in law firms and banks hire me to act as an agent for them and represent things and do research for them to find out what the market is, including buying things. But that's only for really expensive things. They should probably trust their local jeweler. If a jeweler's been around for a long time, they're honest. They've been there. And I think that people should go to their local jeweler and develop a relationship there. To have an appraisal done, you need an independent appraiser, not that jeweler.
Does it matter what type of a jewelry it is? In other words, some people think of estate jewelry as really old, antique, that type of thing. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. And sometimes some of the older pieces, in fact, what my colleagues get excited about, really excited about, we can find something that maybe is 90 years old, and it's a small little ring or bracelet. And we'll talk 20 minutes about the back side of it because it was so extremely well made. And in fact, making it that type of thing with that detail with no magnification, it's just mind-boggling.
Now, you also help people go through their things, and would you explain that, Lucy?
Okay. Quite often, I've done well over 1,000 estates in terms of estate settlements and valuations of estates. A lot of time that somebody gets an estate, mom or dad has passed away, and they don't know what is costume jewelry, what is real jewelry, what should be appraised, what shouldn't be appraised. They can come in and free of charge, we separate things out. This is costume, and we'll discuss each case is individual, and we'll discuss what needs to be done and documented and what does not.
Okay, and again, that if you have 5 or more things, he will come to you. Where are you located when they go to you?
North Phoenix.
North Phoenix, and their phone number is 602-264-3210. It's Oullet, O-U-L-L-E-T-T. OUELLET-Lynch.com. You can also follow him on Instagram, which is #JewelAppraiser. Also, they do free consultations, obviously. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further about this. We also have our lines open for everybody to get the Sparkle Sparkle. It's getting entered into win. He's got a few of them that he wants to give away. It's a $20 value, free to you. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We'll be back in just a minute.
Obrigado.
So welcome back. We're talking with Craig Lynch, and he is with, and I want to say it right, Oullet and
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes, indeed.
And we have our lines open here. He's a jewelry appraiser, which is really different. There's so many different things that people have. You don't even know what it's worth. Is it worth it? Is it not? You've been doing this, you said, since like 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Very long time, so he's a lot of experience behind him. He will come to you if you have 5 items or more, and even help you go through your things and show you what is and what isn't. He does free consultations, obviously. You can either call him direct at 602-264-3210. We can also follow him on hashtag Jewel Appraiser. And our lines are open here. He's giving away something fun for people. And I'm going to let you describe it again, just because, you know, they break people might have not heard it. It's called Sparkle Sparkle. It's a special jewelry cleaner for any jewelry. Go ahead.
It's a very unique formulation. It's different than any other jewelry cleaner out there. Most jewelry cleaners are abrasives, and they clean by abrasing and rubbing things off. This works with the metal and lifts the the dirt off. And it's a chemist, a local chemist that designed it, and he won an national award a couple of years ago. And it's nice because it's in a small little bottle. You can put it in your purse. You just spray it like a spritz on it, so mild little tiny brush with it, and rinse it in fresh water. It's so safe. You could actually drink it. Don't recommend that, but it's safe, and it's portable.
And our lines are open here for
Yep.
you to get it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Okay, some of the important stuff now, because it's neat. All the inner stuff is really neat. But I want to talk about some of the things here. When someone comes to you, do they usually bring more than one person? Are they coming with someone or alone, or how's that work?
They usually come with somebody.
And why?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't know what to expect. They're transporting usually valuable items, and perhaps if they've met me before, it's not a big deal. But it's a new experience for them, and they want someone to kind of give them guidance and help them a little more secure, I think.
Now, what about what they can expect then when they come and see you?
Well, what I ask them to do is bring all the documentation that they have for any piece of jewelry. If they have the documentation, bring it with them. I don't want them to get a document from me and disagree, and they get home and sees it disagrees with another document that they have had previously. And so if there's any differences from what they have in the past, I like to explain it personally and clarify things. So it's not hard. They need to come in, and it's usually done while you wait. Photographs, the minimum appraisal is 8 pages long. They get a copy. The most common appraisals for insurance, they get a copy from the insurance agent. But I've done lots and lots of fair market value appraisals, which are state settlement, gift tax donation. I appear in court also for expert witness. So they need to come with their documentation. Expect probably 20 minutes to a half hour per item, and it'll be completely documented, photographs and measured and graded and described and how it was made and everything like that.
Wow. So it's quite different than when you just go into your store, let's say whatever jewelry store that you go into and you get an appraisal, and they just say, oh yes, and they write it out that it's worth X amount of money, and that's about it.
Yeah, and
this is way deeper. Go on.
Yeah, much more deeper. Some people say, well, I'm going to use my sales receipt for insurance purposes because that's the value, and that's what the insurance company wants. That value, whatever they paid for it, is used to set their premium. So that's the kind of the numbers bend of it. But you really, really need to have it described, because when push comes to shove and there's a loss, you go back and primarily rely upon a detailed description. A sales receipt usually has a couple of words in it, not even a sentence. And if it's
abbreviated now.
It's so abbreviated, you hardly know what it is. And there can be huge differences in value, huge. And another thing they need to keep in mind, values change daily. I mean, gold, diamonds, everything changes every day. So they should have their appraisal updated, especially, or at least called to find out if it should be updated every 2 to 3 years. Not always needs to be done. But I had a client with a big 7-carat diamond that went up $50,000 in 6 months.
Wow, it's amazing. And you said that it could be anything, any kind of piece of jewelry. Should everything be appraised?
They should be looked at, and then everybody has a different type of criteria for what they're doing. And so we discuss the criteria first, and then we look at it and see what needs to be documented to fit that criteria. And not everything does. In fact, a lot of things don't. And but everybody understands that up front, what they're getting and what not to do and how to handle certain things. And so we take each case individually and discuss and go over it with the client to meet their best needs.
Again, you statewide, you said, nationwide, you're working on that. You do go to them. You are mobile. If you have 5 pieces or more, he does free consultations. He'll go through your things with you so that you know what is and what isn't before you even go any further. And you can call him direct. His number is 602-264-3210. The website, again, is Oullet, OUELLET-Lynch.com. And you can follow him on Instagram at #JewelAppraiser. Now, again, our lines are open here. We have everybody we've got about 3 or 4 of them that you're giving away, these jewelry cleaners, and it's called Sparkle Sparkle. They're very, very different. They're great for everybody to have. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. One of the things that I didn't say is that you are rated with the Better Business Bureau, and it's good to know that kind of thing because people like you want to know everything a little bit about you because you're reputable. You've been doing this since 1979. Okay, I want to talk about more back into things like watches. Okay, why would someone, when you think about a watch, and you mentioned a Rolex watch, we think about our father's pocket watch from years and years and years and years and thousands of years ago or whatever. Why would someone want to do a Rolex watch when, you would think that they would have a receipt for that and they would think that's all they need. Why?
Well, there's, like, for example, Rolex have been changing a lot, specifically in the last few years. They've come up with several new models, and then they have certain little modifications that make that individual watch unique. And especially for vintage watches that are 20, 30, 40 years old, if they're a high-grade watch, Patek Philippe out of Marquet, in addition to Rolex, they can go really, really expensive as a vintage watch. I think the most expensive Patek Philippe sold recently for $12.5 million as a pocket watch.
I have one of those.
See? I need to see it.
Everybody's laughing in it. Yeah, no, I don't. But I have a nice watch, though. But in any case, when somebody gets this from you and they take this to their, they get an insurance appraisal, okay? With doing this, and I just want, when you think about this, you're worried, hey, my God, if I'm going to find out that it's worth so much money, is my insurance going to go crazy? I can't even afford to have that diamond in on my finger.
Well, that's a fear a lot of people have. And actually, statistically speaking, jewelry is far safer on your person than it is at home. And so wear your jewelry, number one. Maintain it. Go to your jeweler, make sure the prongs are good shape and that it's a good solid sound condition that's not going to break or something. Because jewelry does wear. And it's prongs wear like tires in a car. You need to have them maintained. You expect them to be maintained, and see your local jeweler for that. Also, one of the things we provide is that if there's damage to a piece when we do an appraisal, we don't do repair work, but we'll tell you that diamond's chipped, and that can be repaired. Prongs can be redone. We'll tell you what the condition is and what the prognosis is and what the best way to fix it is.
Right. Now, when somebody, some people have a lot of jewelry, yes. Some people don't have a lot of jewelry. Some people's parents have a lot of jewelry. Would you come in and help them with, like, let's say in a state they had to get, maybe they don't want it. Maybe there's nobody left to give it. There's no women left.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, first of all, you assess what's there, and then I have occasionally for real expensive things. I am hired by banks, trust companies, attorneys to help. I don't buy and sell, but I act as a consultant. I'm an independent consultant, and I'll research market. And not too long ago, an attorney brought me in for an estate, and there was 200 pieces, all very nice. And I stopped in the middle and said, "This one piece, you and I are going to go to New York." He said, "What?" I said, "You're going to pay me to go to New York. I'm going to spend 3 days in New York. This is for this sapphire." And I said, "That was $50,000 sapphire." He says, "I think it's a lot more than that. And not only that, you're going to pay for documentation of country of origin, heat treatment, a front." And he kind of thought I was really being arrogant. Well, it turned out that one piece, he was representing an estate. He was a court-appointed person to handle that estate. They needed some money for the estate. He sold a cash liquidation for over $400,000. But then it started making sense to him that having me there, and all I got paid was for my time. I'm not a piece of the deal or anything like that. I'm independent, and I see things and I say, you need to spend the money on this. To do your due diligence as an attorney, you need to spend time and you need to do it. You can't do this over the phone. You have to see people face to face. You have to get multiple offers.
Well, I'll tell you something. This is very interesting, and we all have a lot of jewelry. Now, some people have more than others. Some people have things that are worth more than others. You will not know until you find out. You should get it appraised, especially if there's people in your family that have it. You're going to be passing it down. Again, he does do free consultation. The number is 602-264-3210. It's Oulett-Lynch.com.